watching Universal Groove. I have Elvia with us, live with us here. Been really looking forward to talking to her. So welcome to the show.
Hello. What's poppin'? How are you?
So good, so good. So I just kind of want to give everybody just a little bit of insight of how we met. So we went to like this awesome party with Santana Soul Radio. They threw like a live backyard boogie. Everybody was there. I list a bunch of names for you guys. I don't know if we should though, because there are some people that shouldn't be there, along with Elvia should have been there. But
Hey, I show up at random places sometimes.
But we got a chance to meet. She's a friend of Mariah, and Mariah was like, dude, this girl can sing. And now when Mariah says this girl can sing, that means this girl can sing. So yeah, I went home, did my homework on her, got a chance to listen to all her music that she's putting out right now. Really good stuff. She's got like slow jam, she's got the upbeat song, she got like the hip hop soul. It's something very different. So I was just really excited to sit down here with you. So again, welcome to the show.
Yes, thank you. Well, I'm glad you like my shit. Hey.
First thing I want to start off with is just, where were you born? Where did you grow up at?
I was born in Glendora, California. I don't remember much of that. And then after, I lived in La Fuente for maybe like 2 years, and then from there I moved to Mexico. I lived in Guanajuato, Mexico for about maybe 3 years. Came back when I was like 5, 6. So yeah, 3.5 years around there. So I grew up in San Bernardino. Came back from Mexico, lived in LA for like half a year, and from there my dad was like, we're going to San Bernardino. So I pretty much grew up in San Bernardino.
When you went to Mexico, do you remember any of that? I mean, you were there for like kindergarten. What was that experience like, if you remember?
I remember every morning, just like, you know how here we do the I pledge allegiance to the flag. Over there, we would do something similar. It was like a row of 5 girls, 2 on each side, and then 1 in the middle holding a flag. And it was freaking like march around. I also remember in the morning, the people who sold bread, and pass by being like, pan, tenemos pan, all early. Just a lot of things. Also, I remember my birthday. My birthday is November 1st. So here we celebrate Halloween, October 31st. Over there, they celebrate El Día de los Muertos on the 2nd, November 2nd. November 1st, I think, is also part of Dia de los Muertos, but it's more Dia de los Inocentes. So I think that's like the babies, or like, you know. So it was like always some Halloween type of thing over there. And I remember having people like, my grandma owned a little liquor store type of thing on the very corner. And so people were constantly passing by through there. So for my birthday, I'd be like, come to my party, come to my cake. And since my grandma knew, a lot of people knew my grandma because of her store, like the kids would come. And so November 1st, my birthday, things like that. I remember being like, everybody knew each other, everybody in the little town. It was a lot of fun. I love Mexico.
Now, you come back to San Bernardino after LA. What's it like in San Bernardino the time that you're there? I mean, is it rough? Is it pretty chill? I know everybody. What's kind of the atmosphere around San Bernardino when you're there?
It was pretty chill. I mean, being little, when you're little, you really don't know too much of what's going on. I grew up in apartments. We grew up in apartments, so there was always a bunch of kids. And growing up there in San Bernardino, I just remember all the kids would hang out, and like the evening after we did our homework and we did all that and freaking play hide and go seek, there was always a little group of the little girls and the group of the little boys, and it was really nice. I had a really nice childhood. My school was like a few blocks from where I live, so I remember walking to school in the morning, walking back till my mama started whipping. She started driving, so like, hey, we're going the little whip. But no, it was just it was nice. My parents would take us to play at our school in the afternoon. Like you say, there was always the older men playing soccer. My dad would be one of those playing soccer with the other men, and we'd be in the freaking playground. Or it was nice. I had a really nice childhood in San Bernardino. Yeah, we used
Okay.
to actually do in the same little apartment. It was a group of us who would hang out, me, my little sister, and like two other girls. It all depended. Two other girls, three other girls, and we would throw little shows. Like in the back of the apartment, there was like a parking lot. There was like the space where we could just hang out. And me and my friends would make invitations out of papers to invite our parents to come see La 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 and La La La, and we freaking would like give our parents and like the neighbors an invitation at 6. They would all go to the back, and me, my little sister, and like our little homegirls would all dress in matching stuff and perform our little covers. We used to have little dances for them and everything. And yeah, my mom has pictures of them. I remember this one time my dad made like these little fake guitars. It was just like we cut out wood, we painted them. I had a fucking flower. My friend had a star, and the other friend had a heart. It was fun. And Randino as a child was great. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was also interesting to me that you did not speak English coming back to, California. What was school like not knowing the language when you're, a younger kid?
I used to cry every freaking day for first grade. I remember. I used to cry because I didn't want to go to school. I just felt like out of place. Like I'm not in my comfort zone. I felt like I was a loner. I was a freaking loner. I remember there was this little girl named Selene. Selene, if you're out there watching me, I remember you, girl. She would always hug me. It's okay, Elvia. Your mom's gonna come for you later. La la la. I was in Spanish, but I was right there weeping for my mom because I didn't want to stay in school, and that was like for a couple weeks in first grade, and then after that, eventually, start talking to other little girls, and you start being friends. Of course, it was kind of awkward not knowing what they were talking, but then later on I came to find out that I wasn't the only one that was learning English. There was more kids. The thing is, I just wouldn't talk to anybody. Same, I'm pretty sure the other kids were like, I don't want to talk to anybody either. I don't know what they're saying. But eventually, you mingle, you start knowing, and you're like, oh, I'm not the only one that's learning English.
There was kids growing up, in my school that didn't know, English, and they were kind of like the odd one out, and I could only now looking back as, an older adult, looking at that would have probably been like the hardest thing to overcome, because if you don't know what anybody's talking about, you don't know what the teacher's talking about, that's really, really tough. So it really should, takes this really strong person to get through that. One thing I did notice about you, just hanging out with you, talking to you now, you're super funny, right? You're like really bubbly.
Hey.
So did that come just because, you don't know the language, so you gotta like kind of do some dances or like some tricks?
Communicate somehow. Like my mom would say, señas. Fucking signs. Yeah.
And I think that's, we all kind of take something from our childhood and we bring it as adults, and I think that's what really separates you probably from a lot of people, is that you're just super like bubbly, super positive, hanging out with you at the party, you're like, the party, so that was really cool. Time for the party right there.
Something about it makes me move. don't want to be too front with you, but I was thinking, do you want to bite of this apple? I promise you a taste of something you never knew. So come hold my hand, and I'll take you to Wonderland.
You were singing in like the church, right? How old did you start singing at the church?
I started off in the kids choir. So I was maybe like 8, 9, 10, or 9, 10, 11, around there. I don't know. Around that, I can't really recall. But I started off in the kids choir. And then from there, when I turned 13, before I even turned 13, the choir director from the teens choir was like, you should join me when you turn 13. Like, you should join the teens choir. And I was like, okay. And I was like, okay, cool. So when that happened, I was like, peace out, kids. I'm going to the teens choir. What's poppin'? So yeah, I went to that. And yeah, at first it was kind of a little like awkward, because you have the ones that have been there and they're a little older. And then here comes this little girl who freaking obviously is liked by the choir teacher, and she starts putting me to do like taking over the older one's part, or like it was a little like, I know she doesn't like me because I took her fucking song, or I don't know. But eventually, things happen and you start working it out, and I'm like, hey, we could both do it. You do it today, I do it the next time, or I don't know. And yeah, it was fun. I had a fun time at the choir.
The teachers that are doing the choir with you, I mean, they must be really giving you confidence to do this. Can you name a couple of them? Do you still remember some of their names?
Her name is Pati Islas, and man, she still is. I haven't seen her in a while, but she was such an awesome person. She would just always, like, I could tell she liked my singing, and she just liked me in general, because she would, like, you could just feel the love from her, and she would always back me up and sing this song for me. Or like when we would be taking trips, because with that teen improv group that we were in, we used to do a bunch of things. We used to go to freaking camping and all this thing, go to retreats of like leadership and things like that, So we were always with her, and like she would always sing this song to me, Elvia. And it was obviously not church music, but I really like her. Sing this one and sing that one. And I would just have everybody laughing. And I don't know, I just like to talk. I like to talk, and hey.
Yeah, so you're definitely the life of the party.
She helped a lot growing up to kind of like bring my shyness out. La Pati.
Yeah, I think that's huge, right? Because I feel like, for most of the people that I've talked to that sing or play an instrument, or in a band, that support from either your family, your mother, your father, your, teachers, those are the ones that really give you that confidence. And I don't know, if you don't really have that, it's pretty tough to be successful in this business, because you kind of need some like that confidence.
My parents, they've always been like, andale, come on, like, stop being shy. Like, when I was like, come on, Elvia. All like, oh yeah, my daughter sings. And that helps. I'm like, that helps too. I know what you mean.
Yeah, so, and I've seen that your mother's done some videos there with you singing and stuff. And she's like really good, right? She's just probably just as good as yourself, right? Or am I wrong?
Yeah, my mother, man. I think that's where I got it from. I grew up listening to my mom sing all the time. Like all the time. She'd be cooking, she'd be singing or bumping music, singing along with the music while we clean. Now that's me, like freaking cleaning, bumping music, singing my lungs out. I grew up listening to my mom sing all the time at family gatherings, at the quinceañera. Where's Yoli? Oh, singing over there with the mariachi. Or, like that really stuck to me.
So we're doing the choir, and then you're hitting like junior high, high school. What was high school like for you? Did you do any choir? Did you do anything like that?
In high school, my freshman year, I just totally didn't focus and was just, I don't know, trying to fit in, and it went all bad. So I went to a continuation school, And there wasn't too many options for you to do, like the art class or the, it was just the basic shit that you have to learn, and vámonos.
Yeah, that kind of amazes me though, because just hearing that, you're so close to teachers, doing the choir, you're doing the church thing, you're starting to build friends obviously through this. They're taking you out places, doing cool things with you, but then in high school it just all falls apart. Like, what?
Yes.
It did. I mean, was this just like the crowd of girls that you were hanging around with, or just like, I'm just over it? Like, no one's watching me, so who cares? Like, what?
Yeah, I think it was just more of like, man, fuck school. I don't want to do this. Freshman year, I was just kind of like, let's just leave. It was easier for me to like, let's just ditch and kick it and not do nothing. And obviously, I mean, that kind of fucked it up. I mean, I started school good. Like you said, maybe I started kicking it with the wrong people. But I remember singing the national anthem at my high school for something. And the only reason was because my cousin started going to that high school with me. And she told everybody, oh, Elvia can sing. And I was just like, girl, why? What the hell is wrong with you? And people are just like, oh, come on, we gotta hear you sing. And you obviously make friends. So they fucking heard Elvia sing, and they told I forgot what the teacher's name was, but he's like, are you down? You want to sing the national anthem? Yeah, we need somebody. And I was just kind of like, well, fuck, like, why'd you open your mouth, damn it? But I was like, well, fuck it, I'll do it. And I did it. I mean, I was super fucking nervous as hell because I didn't like doing that. Maybe because after I just didn't like to. I was like, ah. But well, throughout high school, it was when I was like in choir, when I was like in the teens choir and all that. So that was like the only fun out of high school. In high school was pretty boring. But out of high school, when I went to choir practice and I was in the teen improv thing, and that was like my fun part out of the high school, but not in school. I'm like, not in school, out of school with the church.
And those kids that are in the continuation school, I grew up with some of those kids, some of those
baby ass kids.
Yeah, those kids are like, everyone's too cool for the room, right? No one wants to listen. Everyone's just way too cool for the room. So was that like a kind of a dead spot for you, where like you don't want to show off your talent because everyone's gonna make fun of you, like,
I was not one of the cool kids, so it was kind of like, I don't even like communicating with these people. Don't fucking, like, they're the cool ones. I'm kind of like the one that just kind of tries to hang around, I guess, so it was not something that I wanted to be like, oh, look. But it did make a lot of people start talking to me, like you said, how you're like, oh, she has a special power. I remember making friends because of like, oh man, you sound nice, or like, you sing really good, or things like that, but nothing. And it's crazy because now, like, through social media, I've had people from high school hit me up like, damn, that's crazy, like you're actually singing now. And I'm like, yeah.
It's no big thing that you found someone new. You said I was just a plaything, and you played me like a fool. But you'll never find a love so true. 'Cause I was the best thing around laughing and acting like a clown. You took me for granted and you put me down. But you'll be crying when you come home and find that I'm gone. 'Cause I was the best thing to show me a brand new life. And you'll be crying when you come home and find that I'm gone. 'Cause I was the best thing that ever happened. The best damn thing that ever happened. The best thing that ever happened to you.
If you have a voice, it's like it's a God's gift. And for you, like what I hear in your voice, it's like that Amy Winehouse, like it's just a different voice. It's
Thank
so
you.
cool. And I know Amy Winehouse is one of your like favorites, right? Talk
Yes.
about some of the people that you grew up listening to that you really enjoyed listening to as a kid.
Well, I started, I'm telling you, it was all English music. I think when my sister started middle school and high school and all that, and she started getting her little flow of what she liked, that's when I started kind of like, because I would just listen to whatever my parents listened to. So my sister started bringing in the Christina Aguilera, the fucking Ashanti, Maya, who else? Aaliyah, Alicia Keys. Alicia Keys was like one of my favorites growing up. I listened to some of the Britney stuff. I wasn't too much of a Britney Spears person. But yeah, so I grew up listening to a lot of Alicia Keys, Keisha Cole. Later on in high school was when I fucking fell in love with Amy Winehouse. Like I get ready to go to school and MTV in the mornings and bump MTV. That's when I first heard that. I treated myself like I knew I would. I told her. Yeah, that one. And I was just like, oh wow, I like this. And Adele came in, and just all these freaking awesome. I can name so many, but Lana, who else? Yeah, they were just. That's what I grew up listening to. Man. Selena was one of like the tops. My sister was a big Selena fan, so she had all the Selena CDs, all the Chicano rap, and that's when I started listening to the oldies. My sister was like a Mino Chola. My sister was like the big Chola, fucking out of Royal Valley. So my sister, whatever she listened to, I stuck to it, and then from there I started, you start getting more into things and more into shit, so you start listening to all that.
Yeah, and it's kind of crazy as you're saying these names. Like I could see you singing all these different songs and being able to pull them off, in a like a good way. Like the Alicia Keys, the Lana Del Rey, like all that stuff is like, man, yeah, she's amazing. I do want to mention something about Amy Winehouse because I want to talk about that. Like I got a chance to see Amy Winehouse at Coachella. It was crazy to see her because at that time her singles were starting to hit. She wasn't on the main stage, but I would never forget that moment because I felt like it was a moment in time. Like when I remember I got the Coachella pamphlet, I'm looking at the set list and her name was there and everyone around us was like, okay, we're gonna go check her out. She's on the smallest stage.
Yeah.
We're gonna go check her out. And then I was there and just seeing her walk out, she had the big band, she was all like dolled up. I'm like, dude, this girl is like gonna like go through the roof. It was like seeing, to be honest, it was like seeing like Madonna. Like it was like seeing Madonna like before Madonna. And I remember like she just nailed that set. Like she nailed that set. And I'm like, fuck, this girl's gonna go like to the next level. And she did. It was so sad, to see how that ended up.
Yes.
What is your thoughts on, again, like her music and just what happened at the end?
Her music was dope, man. I just love everything. I can't even explain. her lyrics. I freaking loved her lyrics. Like, even though I ain't even going through it, it just fucking hits me right here. Like, I just want to fucking throw myself on the ground and cry. And the whole live music and the whole vibe, you know, everything her music doesn't all sound exactly the same. Like, some of it was like Scottish, and I was like, oh, okay. And some of it was like reggae-ish, and some of it was sounded like some oldies, and it was just her, you know. And it's cool. You just look at it and I'm like, oh, that was so Amy one. That was so Amy. Just like how you look at Mary Jane Girls, oh, that's so the Mary Jane Girls, or you know what I mean? So it just, man, I can't. Her voice too, fucking strong ass, deep ass voice, you know? I love the lows. I love her lows.
Yeah, and I hate how the media kind of like put her in this like, okay, like she was the best. She's this great person, great performer. And then as she was getting into the drugs or whatever else she was doing, like they really piled onto her.
I think that made her situation worse because when you're, and I'll tell you from experience, okay, when you like have some drinking type of problem or anything, and you're feeling some type of way and you see all this other negative shit coming at you, it just makes you overthink and it makes you go more fucking down. You get me? Because I'm an overthinker, and sometimes I'm just like me myself, instead of being like, no, come on, let's do this, start fucking piling myself down. And I feel like that's what it was. That's what happened, especially when, like, you know, drinking is a depressant. Yeah, sometimes it makes you feel like a dope, because it does. Sound like, because it does. But the more you have these problems, the more I feel like it fucks with you. You get me? And I feel like that fucked with her a lot. And just shit, like her dad. I feel like her dad would use her, you know, and she was a daddy's girl, so I don't feel like she looked at it as like, oh, or maybe she did, but she didn't want to face that. I don't know, there's just so much shit, but
yeah. And I'll tell you right now, that fucking boyfriend of hers, oh my,
him too.
That guy. How is that guy still alive right now? How is that guy still alive right now? I don't know how he's alive.
Oh him too, like he fucked her up.
Dude, he messed her up so bad, but man, that's just crazy. It's just crazy love, you know, that she has.
That's why it's that toxic ass love.
Toxic love. Forbidden fruit.
Hey everybody, this is Our Day Will Come and the version of Miss Amy Winehouse. I hope you guys enjoy. Our day will come, and we'll have everything. We'll share the joy, falling in love can bring. No one can tell me that I'm too young to know. I love you so, and you love me. Our day will come if we just wait a while. No tears for us. Think love and wear a smile. Our dreams are meant to be, 'cause we'll always stay in love this way. Our day will come. Dreams are meant to be, 'cause we'll always stay in love this way. Our day will come.
we get out of high school and we get pregnant at what age?
I was 17 when I got preggo. And then the year I turned 18 was the year that I had her. So I had her like 3 months before I turned 18. Yeah, at high school. Elvia.
Now, what's the vibe in the house, like your family and everyone, because they know that you have this special talent, right? And it's not going to go away anytime soon, right? But like, what is like the vibe in the house when you tell them, hey, I'm pregnant?
It was kind of like my parents were kind of like, they were disappointed. They were like, what the fuck, dude? You know? But at the same time, they were not like, okay, well, fuck it. It is what it is. We're here for you. You ain't leaving this house till you graduate high school. So, you know, they helped out a lot. And they have always have. At first, it was a little awkward for me, like, especially with my dad. I feel like I let him down, you know? And, you know, slowly things go back to normal. I have my baby, and while I'm pregnant, I'm already thinking like, I don't want to be with this person, you know, like what the fuck did I do? And I was like, no, everything's gonna be fine. I have my kid, and like after a few months, I'm just kind of like, nope, I'm sorry, like I can't deal with that, and I just stay with my parents, and you know, they help me out.
Now, I had some friends, family, we all, I think, know somebody that has had a child really young, and you know, there's a lot of guys and girls out there that when they have this child, it's like, it's over, right? Like, I'm gonna get a job, I'm never gonna, whatever dream I ever had, it's gone. You know, it's so many people can go down that road, and you know, hey, I'm gonna just work at Ross forever, or I'm gonna work at Target forever, I don't give a fuck, it is what it is.
Yeah.
You know? For you, I guess, what can you tell younger girls or guys out there, you know, that if you do decide to have a child at a young age, you know, what positive, you know, message do you have for them?
Just because you have a kid or you're stuck in a certain situation, like, it doesn't mean it stops there. Yes, it's gonna be harder, but there's still so much that you could do. And I always say that, because I did stop for a little bit like that, you know, but then it's kind of like, no, you have all this time, you have what it takes, and it's just kind of like, give it a fucking try. Like, don't just stop there just because, you know, your baby, who cares? If anything, do it for your baby, you know, like, move it up, don't just stay stuck in one zone. Like, that's what I always try to tell my daughter, my nieces, and I'm like, don't get stuck just here because of a boy, or because you have a baby, or because you got married, or because, oh, you lost your job. Who cares? Look for another fucking job. Like, we gotta keep pushing, and yeah, don't stop. Don't stop till you get enough.
So your daughter is born. When is the time that you just start like picking up the pieces and getting back to the, you know, the singing?
That was way after. I kind of just took a break I was working and just kind of trying to like live a fucking, what I didn't do in high school and teenage. You go to the parties, or, you know, I started doing that. I started going out a lot to the partying, to the, you know, I was a single mom. My kid would go with her dad on the weekends, and then I was like, hey, I got all the time in the world to go do me. So I did that for a few years, and I worked. And then throughout, maybe my child was like, maybe around 4, around there, I started, you know, I was over 21 already. I started going to the karaoke bars, and I started doing that. You know, you're tipsy, so you don't give a fuck. Fucking sing. And after that, people were like, oh my God. And even like friends that I met throughout the years, like, oh my God, Elvia, I didn't even know you could do that. I was like, and we just, let's go to the karaoke. And that's how it began again. Like, I want to go to karaoke. And people started uploading videos on Facebook or going live and shit like that. And I started getting a good response. And then that's when I had a friend, she's a mariachi. And she hit me up like, hey, I'm trying to make like a girl team or a trio or something, and like for us to sing like at parties or restaurants or anything. And I was just like, oh, well, I'll see, because I'm working, la la la. And I never hit her up anymore. Then she hit me up again, because I guess she did get a team, but one of the girls was missing. And she's like, hey, you know, I need you for today. Do you think, or for this weekend, do you think you can help me out? You know, it's just going to be like an hour of singing, and you can come over to my house and practice whatever songs you know, because I know you know some rancheras, la la la, because of your mom. Like, yeah, I do. So, you know, I made a list, and I was like, you know what, fuck it. She's like, and I'll pay you, whatever. You know, all this shit. So I was like, okay. So we did that, and of course, I was like super fucking nervous and shit. I would just sing and gracias, and then she would do the talking and ¿cómo estamos? And la la la, and then we'll sing a song together, you know. But I would just kind of like smile and stand there and sing. I was just like, fuck. That's when I started slowly like coming back to it. We started singing at a restaurant. We used to go like every other Sunday to this one restaurant in Rialto. And then, you know, we just started getting different spots, and for birthdays, people would hire us, and we would just do the mariachi stuff. She would with tracks, and she had her little violin, and she would play the violin, and sometimes it would be a trio. So we would be at the quinceañera, 2 people playing an instrument, and I'll be singing. And that was about maybe, how old is my child? She's gonna be 6. Maybe like by 7 years ago. 6-7 years ago, around there. But I really started, you know, like I need to do something, and yeah.
Now, when you do these parties, obviously it's a party. Like, people are partying hard. They got drinking their beers. Like, you know, you're singing the songs that they want to hear, I'm sure. How much confidence is it giving you as you're doing these shows over and over every weekend or whatever they may be?
Good. Like, it helps, especially when everybody's like, hey, yes, and woo, you're just like, fuck yes, thank you, I appreciate it, you know, and it feels good. You're just kind of like, fuck yes, I'm doing my fucking job.
Okay, of course I wish I was a baller, a little bit taller, you know, 6 feet tall, with some ice around my collar, a little bit more chain in my pocket, and maybe some Snow White classics tied around my neck, and some hands on petroleum to get my dudes whip a little farther. Matter of fact, got my own whip with an extra large bed, and one of those refrigerators with a key, credit card, no problem.
And we could all use some change, whether it's in my pocket or in my brain. And happiness is defined by what we perceive. But it don't mean money can't change a few things. And we could all use some change, whether it's in our pocket or in our brain. And happiness is defined by what we perceive. But it don't mean money can't change a few things.
Okay, hold up. Mama said I wasn't blessed with much things, but I was blessed with some good friends, some great family. And I should apologize to God for asking him for more things. And my brother told me I should be more grateful that music allows me to f with it, instead of hoping I'll receive great things from it. And my girl said, Sam, chill. Don't be so jealous. You got me. Okay, I'm not saying that I'm not grateful of my friends and my family. Inspiration's what it's all about. I'm just saying I kept them on in to keep my mom's great ends from coming out. Pull up in the whip and say, baby, can we get away? Instead of saying, see, well, I'm checking in my savings set up a different way. I know she supports my mission, but her picking me up is certainly not in my vision. Nah.
And we could all use some change, whether it's in my pocket or in my brain. And happiness is defined by what we perceive. But it don't mean money can't change a few things. And we could all use some change, whether it's in our pocket or in our brain. And happiness is defined that I'm not asking for donations when I'm dead. Money can't turn my couch into a bed. Money can't make sure that I'm not asking for donations when I'm dead. Money, some change,
So let's talk about the Midnight Cruisers. There's a legend in that group. There's probably a few legends in that group. One of them being Rich G.
What's up, homie?
Man, so that guy's like certified, right? He's like a real G right there. Like
Certified G.
yeah,
Yes, Rich. He's awesome, man.
yeah. Tell me about how you hooked up with them, and then you're singing their songs, and what type of songs you guys are doing.
So I met Rich G through Monty B, my manager. They were looking for a second person, a second singer for whenever she's missing, well, you could come along and take her place, or and yeah, I went to try that. He called me, Rich called me. She gave him my phone number. He called and he was like, "Hey, Mina, well, we hear really good things about you. I want you to come, practice 3 songs and come this day and let's, try out, see what happens." And we're like, okay. So that day came and I had my 3 Mary Well songs, because they're a cover band. We do oldies, so we sing all that. Mary Wells, Bretton Wood, all that war, all that type of stuff. We do the cumbias, we do the that fun, get you dancing. So I go try out that day, and they're like, you know what, we love it. We practice la 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 la, and join us. Make sure you bring your mic and all that, and I was like, okay, hey, I'm in the band, and I was all super excited. So yeah, then that's how I met Rich G. At first, I didn't really know too much of him. I had heard him because I listened to that fucking Chicano rap stuff and all that. I didn't know whose face was or who, until after on, I was just like, oh shit, oh okay, like, oh okay. That's when I was like, damn. And it's just a trip. Same with Tony G, the drummer. He produced that song with Kid Frost, the Kid Frost music, the Raza song, es por la raza. And the Familia song. He's just worked with a lot of people. Tony G, like he worked for K-Day for like, I think it was K-Day, yeah, for years. He was a DJ mix master, Tony G. So look him up. I'm like, look him up.
Yeah, so Tony G, he's like, he's the legend Tony G, right?
Yes, he's the legend Tony G.
Yeah, like that guy is like seriously legendary. Like he's a big deal. And then you have Rich G, that is like, I seen a comment like on one of his videos. I started watching his videos when I found out that you were in that band with them. And he's like, they call him like the Mexican Nate Dogg.
Yeah.
But that guy kills it. Like he's got some really good songs.
Voice.
And he's got like it's different because I think I watched like he had like a little documentary. He had like a little thing that he was talking about his life and just how he came up, and really interesting story. Definitely check him out. But there was a thing that he was talking about where in his music, he calls it like kind of like hip hop soul.
Yeah.
And it's so cool to hear. And he's definitely, like I said, he's a certified G right there. So now you're in the band, you get noticed, you get signed. And then the first song that comes out is
Forbidden Fruit.
and you got the famous whistling in there.
Yeah. Yes, I whistle. It's me whistling in that song.
Yeah, and yeah, it's just a really cool song, and I think that is like your first song that you've ever written, right?
Yes.
What's the process on that? How did that song come about?
That song came about, I was writing a whole different love song, heartbreaking song, you know, and that I had in mind. And I had this little melody in my head, and I was like, I have this in mind, but I never, one day out of nowhere, I just started kind of like thinking of I was driving and I was just like thinking of like, a forbidden fruit. Just kidding. Of that kind of like, we were talking about high school or something, and that stayed in my head of when like, oh, the girlfriend, that's your friend's boyfriend, but your friend's boyfriend's over here flirting with you kind of, and you're just kind of like, no, like, that's my friend. But at the same time, in high school, you're still kind of like emotions, you're learning what the fuck, and it's kind of like yes or no. And I started remembering that, and like, I came up with the forbidden fruit part, because you were more like my forbidden fruit. And I was like, oh, this is cute. I was just like whistling and I started thinking of forbidden fruit, and it just started all coming along. So it was just the little hook that I had in my head. And after I just started coming about the verses, and I was like, oh, and that's what it reminded me of, like that little maybe yes, maybe no type of feel.
Yeah, and then so the person that worked on these songs with you is Jay Shanklin.
Yes, rest in peace.
Yeah, so let's talk about him. So he was in a funk band, and he did some other tracks as well. Now, did the music come first? Did he bring the track to you, or did you come up with the lyrics and then they brought the track back to you?
I came up with the lyrics first, and I was just right there. Cause you were more like my forbidden, singing it to him, and he created something, a beat, and then from there I was like, okay, and then I was like, okay, well, I want to make it sound type of like 50-ish, like the 50s. I was like, I definitely want maybe like a tambourine or instruments, make it very like. And when he showed it to me, I was just like, oh my god, yes, I like this. And it was just like that. After they heard me and that I was just like whistling the song, they're like, why don't you have the whistle? And I was like, you know what, yes, I should have the whistle. And that's how we just all put it together. But yeah, he was really good with music. Unfortunately, he passed last February 2020.
And then you also had The Best Thing That Ever Happened to You by the late Rudy Solis. Can you tell us about that? Yeah, can you tell us about that song, how that came about?
When I first got with the label, they had already spoke to him. My manager and Charlie, my boss, they had already spoken to him of like me, and he really liked my how I sounded. So he told them, like, you know what, I want to work with her. So they came about to want to work with me, Rudy, and they were like, okay, let's do this. And yeah, I got to like meet up with them, and I was just like, oh wow.
Yeah, now this guy, he's legit, right? This guy's got some like bona fide hits. He's been doing it for a long period of time. Yes, rest in peace. He just passed away.
Yeah.
What was it like? So were you guys working on the song together? Was he there in the process, or did he just record? Okay, so what was it like working with him?
It was fun. He was very understanding, very like, you do your thing, do it. Of course, he had some type of direction of like how he wanted it to sound or what he wanted me to do. But he was just pretty much like, you sing it how you feel like it is gonna come out. And of course, it was super nerve-wracking to me to work with him. I was just kind of like, fuck, like I can't. I was trying my best, but I could tell like in my voice it was like, bitch, like focus. You sound nervous. And especially because I have him like right there watching me, and I'm like, don't look at me. So I kind of like move away and hide a little bit. But eventually, like I warmed up to it. We did redo the song a few times because I was kind of like, no, it sounds awkward. No, I don't like how I sound right here. Until we fucking redid that shit and bam. But it was fun because I really like the fact that like these other, like Forbidden Fruit, my first song that I did, and even these other songs that I did, some of the songs are created on like a computer, you know what I mean? And I also like the live, so I love the fact that we were fucking right there. His band Tierra was right there and fucking playing the song, and I was just kind of like, let's sing this, so they recorded the instruments before, I was still kind of warming up to the song. I just sang to it and they got it down, and then fucking afterwards when we did the vocals, like the actual thing, yeah. But it was fun, and it was like a awesome experience that I'm never gonna forget, and like an awesome opportunity as well. Like super thankful for Joanna and Rudy, and rest in peace, and I'm so sorry for your loss, Joanna. Horrible.
So when you got that news, what was just going through your mind when you hear about, Rudy passing?
The first thing, I was just like, I couldn't believe it. I was like, wait, are you sure? I had to call back and be like, are you sure? Because it was just like random as heck. Like it was just the first thing that I thought was just like, oh my God, Joanna. Like, poor Joe. Like that's the first thing that I thought of. The first person I thought of, Joanna. Like, oh my goodness, and I'm like, his kids, his family. Like, like I can't believe this. And it was just something that like it was unexpected. Like it was just random, and it was so sad. Like I right away called my manager, like, I have horrible news, and I told her, and she's like, what? And right away she's like, let me call Joanna. I didn't even call her. Even to this day I haven't called her because I don't know what to tell her. I just sent her a really long text because I know everybody was gonna be hitting her up, and I sent her this long text of like, you don't even know what to say. Like, I didn't even want to say anything because you don't know. There's no words to like, but I let her know how I felt and that I'm here, and I'm pretty sure I'll see her soon and give her that big warm hug that it was just a shocking, very sad.
Yeah, I mean, the positive thing that you can take out of that is that you have this song that's going to be forever, something that, he's worked on and the band's worked on. So, I mean, that's really, to me, that's like something, again, you could take, and show someone and, and give these story, because there's not many people, I'm sure, that have the story that you have to be able to work with the legends like that on their record. Yeah,
man, it was an awesome experience. Definitely something to like. Whew, thank you, baby Jesus.
I'd want to talk about the next song that you came out with, which is Good Time. What really caught my attention on this is that, so it's a Kelly Finnegan song, right? And the sentiments. And it's like, he's still singing this song. Like, he's like probably performing it somewhere, some way. And it's used as the beats. I'm like, man, that is like rock and roll. Like, that's super risky. But that song is like completely different than the stuff that you've done. It's kind of like a hip hop soul. And I love the way you sing on it. I love the way the beat is. Who made that beat? How did that song come about?
That song was brought to me by Samuel James. He is also part of Round 2. He recently got signed with Round 2. I've been knowing this dude for like a few years now, and we've made music before. We have music on SoundCloud. I do his hooks, and he, does the rapping or whatever. And he's the one that's been helping me right now produce. Like, he's been the one making my music. So he had this beat, and he's pretty much like, you know what, I have this song for you, and I have these songs for you. He's like, it's up to you if you want to do it. And because I had already told him, I was like, you know what, I need you to help me with songwriting because he's really good at that. He's really, really good at songwriting. And I was like, you know what I kind of like, and he brings these really good tracks to me that I'm just kind of like, you got me, like I feel this. So he got that track for me, and he pretty much wrote the whole song. He wrote it. It's, you know, and he was just like, do your thing. He's like, do your thing on it. So yeah, I had been telling him, I was like, you know what, I want to kind of like mix it. I don't want all my songs to sound the same. I don't want it to all be oldies or all to be hip hop or to all be poppy, you know, like I want something of everything. And, you know, I could do a little bit of everything. I love a little bit of everything. So I was like, let's, you know, I want to mix shit up. So let's try to do that. And he came about with this, and I was like, I love this. And the song, you know, he just always gives me a reference of him singing it, how it's gonna go. And he's like, okay, just do it how you want to do it. If you don't like what this word says, and you can switch it up or fuck with it, whatever you want. And that's what I pretty much did. And yeah, it came about, and I was just, oh, I love this song.
Yeah,
I love that song.
It's a really cool song, and you know, it's like the soul scene, everyone's kind of chasing like the cover, and I'm pretty sure, I mean, you've done some covers like online, and I'm pretty sure there's covers that are going to come out. But what I like about that song particularly is that it's definitely something different. It's still soul, but it's definitely something different. It's almost like a page up from like Rich G. Like he's got like the hip hop sound, the hip hop, you know, flavor, but then he's singing on top of it, and it just works. Like it works so well. So are there more songs like that are gonna come out? Is that gonna be like one of your styles?
Yeah, I really love that. So that's why I'm like, I want to mix it. I don't want to keep it you know, like I really love like that Lauryn Hill type of shit, fucking feel, you know what I mean? So I'm like, I don't want to, let's mix shit. Like it sounds dope when you mix shit. So let's do a little bit of that. I obviously want like some Spanish shit in there too. I just like I like everything. So I don't want to just stick to one certain thing, and you know, let's mix it up and put 2 and 2 and fucking create.
Yeah, no, I love it, because like when that song dropped, I seen one of your posts on Instagram, and when that song dropped, I'm like, it just like threw me for like a loop, because I was expecting like, you know, another oldie type sound, you know, another type of ballad type sound, and then that came in, I was like, what? Like, wow, that sounds just cool. So yeah, I'm excited for that, for new stuff that's gonna come out, you know, sounding like that. And it's just different, because I think everyone's kind of in that lane right now. Everyone's trying to do the cover, everyone's trying to do like the new, it's not bad, it's cool, but it's like you definitely took it another route, and I love that about what stuff that you're doing. It's just all mixed up. So do you have any other when's like the next music coming out? Do you have anything coming up soon?
I have more songs. I think we're probably just gonna wait to just release the full album. We're trying to do this maybe before summer. So by summer, you know, my album be bumping. But we are gonna make a video for Good Time. So maybe that's the next thing that's gonna come out, my video for Good Time. And after that, hopefully, you know, the album. Bam. But yeah, and all those songs are gonna be in the album, of course. I am working on a cover song. So yeah, I'm like, so yeah, stay tuned.
Well, I definitely want to thank you for coming on. Really appreciate it. I had a great time hanging out with you at the party. I know we can't say that really with all the celebs that were there, but yeah, I really thank you for doing this. I'm really excited for the stuff that's going to come out. You have an amazing story. I can't wait till everyone sees this. But yeah, if you can, just let everybody know your name and where they can find all your stuff, and I'll put all the links there at the bottom.
Well, my name is Elvia Cadena. Thank you for Universoul Groove for having me. Make sure you guys It's shaking. Make sure you guys check me out on my YouTube. It's under Elvia Cadena. I'm also on Instagram under Elvia Chain. Facebook, Elvia Cadena. You guys can find my music out on all digital platforms, Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, Pandora, you name it. And make sure you guys go on YouTube and check out my music videos as well. Check out round2music.co so you guys can purchase your t-shirts. I have t-shirts on sale, masks, keep masks up. And yeah, so check me out.
We could take a cruise in your car. I could make waves with my arms. Take me downtown. Tell me what it's all about. Ooh, you know I love a good time, baby. Damn right, I love a good time. And I've been working all day, working all night, trying to get my paper right, trying to get my hoops right, trying to get my hula hoop skirt tied. Ooh, you know I'm not a good girl, baby. Damn right, I'm not such a good girl. Tell me what it's all about, baby. Tell me what it's all about, baby. I don't wanna waste your time, waste my time, trying to figure out if you're mine. Ooh, you know I love a good time. You can pick me up around 9. You could call me your shawty. Pick me up a couple of 40s. Tell me that you're loving me. Put your arms around me. Ooh, you know I love a good vibe, baby. Damn right, I love a good vibe. Tell me what it's all about, baby. Tell me what it's all about, baby. I don't wanna waste your time, waste my time, trying to figure out if you're mine. Ooh, you know I love a good time. Tell me what it's all about, baby. Tell me what it's all about, baby. I don't wanna waste your time, waste my time, trying to figure out if you're mine. Ooh, you know I love a good time.
I don't sound too loud.
A little tiny bit, but it's good.
I have to sing loud a little.